Let's talk about Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Welcome back to Sprung On Food. I'm your host, Kae Sprung. This season, we're talking about favorite foods, the history behind it, and the role it plays in the world today. Joining me today is comedian and writer Brian Bahe. Brian, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, I'm very excited that you are here. You are a hilarious person, and I was very excited to tap into your favorite food, which is Flamin' Hot Cheetos. You've got to tell me all about your relationship with this food and why it is your favorite.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to not say about Flaming Hot Cheetos?
Okay.
They're hot, they're crunchy, they're salty, so you get a little umami going on, I feel like. And I feel like I had them when I was a child. The school that I went to, there was like a Circle K directly across the street. So after school, all the kids would go across the street to Circle K and get like a snack. And I think somebody there introduced me to hot Cheetos because I feel like it was pretty new at the time. And I was like, what is this? Because I was a very chubby child. So I knew
Oh,
my snacks. I knew anytime there was a new flavor of anything. So I was like, wait, I've never heard of this hot Cheetos thing before. And so I tried it and I was like, this is interesting. I don't think it was love at first sight, but it was kind of just interest at first sight because I was like spicy. I was never like a spicy kind of girly. I was more just like savory, salty, that type of stuff. And then,
yeah.
so this was like a completely new experience for me. And I also remember my sister being really into it, my older sister. And so I kind of copied everything that she did just because I looked up to her and I kind of forced myself to really
Oh,
get into the hot Cheetos experience. And now it's fully just a part of my lifestyle.
oh, wow. So yeah, this was kind of like a repeat until you finally like fell and you had to date them tons and tons of times until you were like, I think I love you.
It was like getting hooked on cigarettes a little bit. It's kind of like when you
Really?
first smoke a cigarette,
And
you
they kind
kind
of
of
look like
are,
them too. So maybe you were just like
yes.
one and the same.
Yeah, you're not completely into it, and then you keep doing it, and then before you know it, you're fully addicted.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So you were introduced as a child. At how long would you say that it took you to become addicted to them?
I would say on and off for maybe 6 months.
Okay. I guess that's not too long. I also don't know at what frequency you were incorporating them to be able to fall in love,
Yeah,
but
maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, perhaps. There's also this component of I think my mom hated them,
oh,
and I for some reason anything my parents hated that made me like it even more, and so I was just kind of like, we're leaning in.
yes, that's typically how the mentality works. The forbidden fruit, we have to, it makes us want it that
Yeah.
much more.
What's boring about my lifestyle now is that I
Oh,
do try to eat very healthy in a way. So when I do actually get a chip, which actually kind of is once a week, perhaps, it is that because
yeah.
it's what I know I like and it will scratch the itch.
You've revisited the same frequency that you started at, the kind of
That's
once a
really
week,
scary. That's
the
so
full
crazy
circle
in a
moment.
way.
Yes, it's
Wow.
almost like a therapy session. This one's for free, and we'll discover why on the next episode. Do you have a day of the week or something where it's like today's Cheeto day, or is it not that structured?
No, it's not that structured. It's more
Okay.
instincts. Like
Mhm.
yesterday, I was one of those days because I was I had to go to the dry cleaner. And
Okay.
I know there's a 7-Eleven right
Because of
next to
all
it.
the
And
Cheeto stains?
yeah. And so in my head, on my way to the dry cleaner, I got really excited because I was like, I'm actually gonna get hot Cheetos when I
Oh,
go because
I love it.
I felt compelled because I was like, it had
Yes,
been a while since I last had them, and I'm like, I think it's time.
I love it. Well, to better understand and appreciate our food, we've got to know where it came from. Cheetos, the neon orange snack that stains your fingers and terrifying to eat if you're wearing white, Whether you're into classic crunchy, melt-in-your-mouth puffs, or the reason we're here today, Flamin' Hot, Cheetos are a cultural icon. And their origin story? It's got innovation, corporate takeovers, international intrigue, and even a disputed underdog narrative worthy of a Hollywood movie. We turn back to 1948 when Cheetos were invented by Charles Elmer Doolin, the same snack savant behind Fritos and a man who likes his company names to rhyme. The first Cheetos were what we now know as crunchy Cheetos, fried cornmeal pieces coated in powdered cheese. They were an instant hit, but Doolin knew he needed a larger operation to scale up. So in 1961, Frito merged with Herman W. Lay's company, Lay's, to form Frito-Lay. Just 4 years later, in 1965, Frito-Lay merged with Pepsi-Cola, becoming PepsiCo, one of the largest food and beverage corporations in the world. That merger gave Cheetos access to Pepsi's powerful distribution network, and the snack exploded across the US. And a popular product like this deserves a mascot. Chester Cheetah, the smooth-talking, sunglass-wearing feline mascot introduced in 1986, evolved from a side character to full-blown brand ambassador with slogans like,
It's not easy being cheesy.
Dangerously cheesy.
Before Chester, there was the Cheetos mouse, created in 1971. The mouse disappeared around 1979 until 1986 when Chester was introduced. Brian, what do you think of the mascot switch up? And if you had to come up with an alternative slogan, what might it be?
I think the switch up from a mouse to a cheetah is very smart. You don't want mice being associated with food, I feel like.
Okay,
Even though it makes sense because mice like cheese or whatever.
sure.
But Chester Cheetah is actually kind of cool. I remember like seeing him in like ad campaigns or whatever and being like, that is cool.
Yeah, he had like the
Um,
sunglasses. Yeah.
yeah, it's very like kid friendly in a way. Like if I was a kid, I would watch a cartoon purely based on like liking the look of Chester Cheetah.
The cool
So
factor.
very smart on their end. And then if I had to have a slogan,
Yeah.
I mean, dangerously cheesy is cool.
Yeah.
Maybe something about like getting addicted, like
Oh boy. Okay.
I think that would be
Marketers
crazy
would
to
love that. The parents
that
would
would be
be all over
crazy.
it.
Truly just like if a marketing company got like was really into just like leading into yeah, you'll get full-blown addiction. You'll need to go to recovery. What is it called? Rehab. You'll need to go to
Flying off
rehab
the
if you once you
shelves.
try. Yeah.
Flying off the shelves. But who knows? In another time, Frito Lay,
With the
you
with
know
the
who to
way the
call.
world's going. Yeah.
It's true. Yes. And you know what? To be addicted with a Cheeto, really not the worst thing in the world.
No. It's one of the best things in the world.
Amen. Now, with any huge amount of success, there's bound to be some drama. Frito-Lay began developing spicy snacks as early as 1989, with a team of full-time snack scientists and marketers based at company headquarters in Plano, Texas. One of those key members was Lynn Greenfeld, a young brand manager hired that same year. She worked with the team that came up with the Flamin' Hot flavor and branding, yes, including the name. Greenfeld filed for the Flamin' Hot trademark in 1990, and the product was first test marketed that year, eventually rolling out nationally in 1992. The flavor was unlike anything else, an amped-up blend of chili powder, salt, sugar, garlic powder, citric acid, and other additives designed to be intensely craveable or addicting. From school lunchrooms to vending machines to gas stations everywhere, Flamin' Hot Cheetos became a sensation. But then, in came a new narrative. Richard Montañez, a Mexican-American janitor at Frito-Lay plant, claimed that he had invented Flamin' Hot Cheetos. In speeches, interviews, and eventually a memoir, he said that he pitched the idea for a spicy snack directly to executives after being inspired by Mexican street food, particularly elote, corn coated in chili, cheese, and lime. He said his wife helped him season homemade Cheetos, and he presented the idea in a PowerPoint-style pitch. Frito-Lay execs were impressed, he said, and the rest was history. That story made him a motivational speaking legend. It got him a book deal. And in 2023, it inspired Eva Longoria's feature film, Flamin Hot. But Frito-Lay says that version is not accurate. Brian, so far, whose side are you on?
I mean, obviously, I'm on the side of the guy.
Okay.
Because I did see the movie,
Uh-huh.
and it seemed, you know, everything in movies are kind of just like hyper dramatized in a way.
Right.
But for somebody to kind of come up with the thing based on Mexican street food makes way more sense than like Frito-Lay kind of coming up with it in a way, because I just feel like spice in terms of like American food is not kind of their forte.
Mhm.
And so obviously I got to go on the side of the brown person on this one as a brown person myself. Also, what's interesting is I grew up in Arizona, and I didn't grow up super close to this Frito-Lay like place where they actually made the chips, but it was close enough that like we would drive by it pretty often, and it was just like
Really?
this huge like factory looking thing, and like my parents were like, that's where they make like chips, and I was like so fascinated by that, and I was like, I would love to get in there.
Yes. Oh, I wonder if they ever did tours. I'm not sure if they would do.
Oh,
I have no idea if that's something they
wait, that
did,
would be so interesting.
right? To see how the sausage is made, so to speak. We should write in and
I'm
make
I'm
a
actually I'm
request.
going home. I'm going home in 2 days
Okay.
to visit.
Okay.
I
Drop
might look
just
into this.
drop by, knock on the door, see if they'll let you in, report
Yeah,
back, let me know.
yeah,
Oh, yes, we should do that. Or whenever your birthday's coming up, maybe make that your birthday wish, and maybe they'll grant it. We don't
yeah.
know
You
until you
never know.
try. You never know.
Exactly.
Well, in 2018, LA Times journalist Sam Dean began fact-checking Montañez's claim. After a months-long investigation, including internal memos and interviews, Frito-Lay said the Flamin' Hot line was developed independently by corporate teams before Montañez made his alleged pitch. While Montañez did help with community marketing and played a role in outreach to Hispanic markets, something Frito-Lay acknowledges, there's no documented evidence that he invented Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Frito-Lay issued a statement. We value Richard's contributions to our company, especially his insights into Hispanic consumers. However, we do not credit him with the creation of Flamin' Hot Cheetos or any Flamin' Hot products. Eva Longoria responded to the controversy by clarifying that her film is based on Richard's life, not the history of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. So, true origin story or spicy tale, that's up to you to decide, but the power of a good story, undeniable. Brian, do you feel any differently after hearing that?
No, I think Frito-Lay is a big enough company that they could easily just pay the guy off. They could
Mhm.
give him enough money for him to change his story too. It is fascinating because like these like food companies, especially like the really big ones, they just have like their R&D teams are just like they have full teams dedicated to just like testing and trying out like new flavors and foods and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, that's so fascinating. That seems like the coolest job in a way to be able to imagine working in the Taco Bell like research and development type of like thing. That seems amazing.
Okay, so here's our list. Number 1, facilitate a tour of Frito-Lay. Number 2, get to get to hang out in the R&D Taco Bell kitchen, at least
Yes.
at least for a day, and just
Yeah.
and just take it all in and get to play and see
Yeah.
how it works. I think that sounds fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm coming with you because this is a very good
Yeah.
idea.
It would be so fun.
Now, as if that wasn't enough drama for the snack food, Flamin' Hot Cheetos have caused quite the stir in schools across the US. Starting around 2012, school districts in places like Pasadena, California, and Chicago decided that the fiery snack wasn't exactly meeting their nutritional standards. Why? Well, it's got more sodium than a salt shaker, fat that could fuel a small car, and enough artificial flavoring to make a chemistry teacher sweat. But that's not all. Schools reported kids were hooked on these things, sneaking them into class, trading bags like they were rare Pokemon cards, and leaving behind red finger stains that looked like a crime scene. It didn't stop there. In fact, some kids were even rushed to the hospital with stomach pain after binging on too many. Doctors were like, maybe ease up on the Cheetos, kids? It wasn't just about the health risks, though. Flamin' Hot Cheetos were practically pushing the limits of school decorum. Teachers complained about the distractions, the stains, and the growing flamin' hot underground economy among students. Districts like the Pasadena Unified School District and Chicago Public Schools had had enough, pulling the Flamin' Hot Cheetos from their lunchrooms. The snack was officially branded as too hot for school. Not to mention, it became iconic. The kind of snack that you sneak in your backpack because, hey, if it's banned, it must be good, right? Brian, now I can see some parallels between that mentality and how you lived your life where it was like, ooh, this is banned, it's frowned upon, like I'm into it. But had you ever heard of any of these kind of like school dramas or experience this in your own classroom?
Yeah, I feel like in Arizona, my school was never had like good food to
Mm.
purchase. It was always like made in house. We never had like chips or anything like that. So,
Ah.
but I remember hearing on the news that like this was happening in like schools that did sell actual food. And that was really interesting to me. I think it is kind of like the best marketing campaign ever to have this thing like your target demo is like kids, and then for it to be like forbidden by like power structures is like it is essentially cigarettes for kids in a way. Like it makes them want it even more, which I think is really interesting. But also it's like when you're a kid, like when I eat them now, like I don't really get like chili type of set reaction anymore because I think my taste buds are a little bit like desensitized to just like
Mm.
things. But I do remember as a kid, you would eat them and your mouth would be like on fire and you would just be like, if you stopped eating them, it would like burn. And
Oh
so
no.
the only way to like one of the only things to stop that would just be to keep eating them in a way. And so you're just it's like it was like really like fascinating.
I love that mentality too. I feel like sometimes that happens when you are, well, I can only speak for myself, but when you're eating something and you're like, oh, I'm so full. I don't know. The only thing to make it better is to just keep eating the thing. And like that logic makes zero sense. But in the
I
moment, you're
love that
like,
logic.
it's the only proper thing to do. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it is to finish what's in front of you.
Well, on the flip side of things, the popularity of Flamin' Hot Cheetos is very evident among US consumers. Between November 2018 and November 2019, Flamin' Hot Cheetos was the top selling snack brand on GoPuff, an app based delivery service, outperforming other popular snacks like Snickers and Lifesavers. In Latin America, the Cheetos brand also holds a strong market presence. In 2019, Mexico recorded 128 million consumer research points, or CRP, for Cheetos, while Brazil followed with 86 million CRP, indicating substantial consumer engagement in these regions. Now, if you're like me and are thinking, what the hell is CRP? Well, it's a marketing metric used to measure the actual reach and frequency of a brand or product among consumers. It gives insight into how often a brand is chosen and how many people are buying it, essentially combining how many households buy it and how often they buy it. So when Cheetos had 128 million CRPs in Mexico, it means Cheetos is not only wildly available, but deeply embedded in regular shopping habits, a strong indicator of brand health. The spicy snack segment, led by products like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, has seen significant growth. In a 2022 interview, Frito-Lay reported a 12% increase in this segment over the preceding 4 years. Brian, can you guess what percentage of Americans were reported to have tried Flamin' Hot Cheetos at some point?
I would say maybe like 15%.
Okay, 15%. Well, by Price is
I don't,
Right rules, you win, but it's actually 50%, 50.
oh my God.
Yes.
That's so shocking to me.
When I heard that stat too, I was like, 50? What the heck? But I mean, I guess it's a very popular thing, so I guess it kind of makes sense. It doesn't necessarily mean that they buy it with frequency, but
Regularly.
they've at
Yeah.
least tried the product. Yeah, which is
This is
pretty
like
impressive.
It's so fascinating because that means just like one out of every two people have tried it. I don't know why that blows my mind. For some reason, because it is like, first of all, it's a junk food, which is kind
Mhm.
of, I feel like people aren't really honest when they talk about like junk food sometimes. I feel like it's like still a taboo subject in a way. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then just the whole spice thing. I think there's so many people who like have an aversion to spice that it's such an interesting stat.
Yeah, it may have just been a challenge to themselves to see, like, what's all the hype
Yeah.
about? Can I handle the heat? And then maybe that was a one and done for them, and then they were like, "Check off the list. I'm good, but now I'm in the 50%, so here we are."
But I will say, so when my sister and I were really into it, we would like get a bag at not once we were like older and could buy our own food, and we would be home and we would just leave it in the pantry or something. And then my dad
Ah.
would like be eating it. And then so like he kind of eventually he saw the light and he grew to really like it. And I think like and then I think I remember like going home one time and like we were at the grocery store with my mom and she's like, "Your dad wants chips," and then she like gets hot Cheetos because she's like, he likes these.
OMG, your mom has switched sides. She used to, right?
Yeah.
Like, she was like, "No, no, 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 no," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Your dad likes it," so
Yeah, exactly.
wow. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You guys introduced it to the fam, and then it became family friendly. So this is actually a beautiful story.
In a way. Yeah.
Well, Flamin' Hot Cheetos have become a huge player in the snack industry, contributing majorly to PepsiCo's portfolio. As of March 2024, the Flamin' Hot product line, encompassing 25 unique items across brands like Flamin' Hot Doritos, Flamin' Hot Funyuns, Flamin' Hot Lay's, and even Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew, yeah, the soda, that was a thing, generated over $3 billion in cumulative sales. This success led PepsiCo to establish Flamin' Hot as its own brand within the company. Brian, have you tried any of these other Flamin' Hot products? The Mountain Dew was one that I was like, "What? Have you seen
Yeah.
or tried?" Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it, and
Oh,
if I
okay.
saw it, I don't know if I would try it.
Mhm.
I think I'm in a post Mountain Dew time in my life. Like I
Yeah.
was very into Mountain Dew. There was a time when Mountain Dew was coming out, it was like Mountain Dew Code Red. They had like Mango Mountain Dew. They had a blue version, and I was
Ooh.
all over that. I was like drinking Mountain Dew every day almost.
Oh.
And so now it's kind of like when I see Mountain Dew, I can't give into it.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say though, the mango one, that sounds kind of refreshing. I was not familiar that that was
I mean,
even.
it was pretty refreshing.
Yeah, the blue one I have seen, so that I can say I've seen it too. But the novelty of being able to try a flamin' hot Mountain Dew, like I think I might cave for that just to see what it's all about. But I don't think there's it's still in existence today. So maybe one day they'll bring it back, like they did with Crystal Pepsi for like a day or something, and then
Yeah, yeah. When I'm 80 and if Mountain Dew
yeah.
Flamin' Hot's around, I will try it.
Something to look forward to. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Today, Cheetos as a whole are now sold in over 36 countries with local flavors to suit every market. In China, you can snack on savory American cream Cheetos. No shade. I hate the name, but Cheetos realized that cheesy snacks weren't popular in China because of the absence of cheese in local diets. Now, to get this flavor, they went through rounds of focus groups. Brian, can you guess how many flavors they went through with these focus groups to finally get this flavor?
I could guess. I want to say 112.
112, very specific. I like that. Well, again, by Price is Right rules, you win, but it was 600 different flavors that they went through with this focus group, and they settled on the savory American cream flavor. Any idea of what that might taste like?
I feel like it's probably very close to what we have. I have a feeling it's probably less salty, and I bet the color maybe might not be as orange. It's probably like more naturally flavored to like the corn, like the color of corn.
Mm-hmm. Well, whether it surprises you or not, it's meant to have a buttered popcorn like taste. So,
Okay.
they're keeping it all in the corn family, so respect.
Yeah.
In Japan, you'll find strawberry Cheetos. They are pink and sweet. In India, you might encounter masala flavored Cheetos. And in Indonesia, roasted corn cheese is a fan favorite. Oh, and those cheesy orange fingers? Not everywhere. In some countries, Cheetos don't have the signature powdered dust. They're baked with flavor inside, so you can enjoy your snack without the cheesy fingies. What do you think about some of these flavors?
I think they're fun. I think it's
Yeah.
great when people make stuff that doesn't exist in the natural world.
Yes, imagination at its finest, and then
Yeah, it's
we get to
like
snack on it.
take let our mouths go places in a way. It's like why limits what is, what we can taste.
Maybe that should be the slogan. Let our mouths go places.
Holy shit.
Doesn't
That
that
actually
sound
is really
fun?
good.
I
That's really
know.
good.
You came up with it. That's all yours. And LA Times can come back and listen to this podcast to confirm that Brian came up with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, aside from a movie being made about the snack food, Flamin' Hot Cheetos have also made their way into recent pop culture. In 2014, singer Katy Perry dressed up as a Flamin' Hot Cheeto for Halloween, complete with a matching Cheetos bag purse. In February 2018, Chromat's designer, Becca McCarran Tran, showed the fall 2018 collection with each model walking down the runway accessorized with a pack of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. The Hot Cheeto Girl meme started gaining traction around 2018 on platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The term described a very specific kind of schoolgirl persona, someone who was loud, dramatic, maybe had some long nails, and always had a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos in hand. In 2022, rapper Megan Thee Stallion released a song titled Flamin' Hottie, which incorporates references to Flamin' Hot Cheetos and their mascot, Chester Cheetah. This track was part of a promotional campaign for Frito-Lay's Flamin' Hot products and coincided with her appearance in a Super Bowl commercial for the brand. Flamin' Hot Cheetos have also invaded restaurant dining. You'll find them on mac and cheese, sushi rolls, fried chicken, elotes, even gourmet burgers. Brian, are there any other pop culture moments that you can think of or final words that you have about your favorite food?
I feel like if there was ever like a character in movies or TV and like they were like snacking on hot Cheetos, I feel like that would say so much about their character. And it's almost
Mm.
like I feel like what it would say about them is them eating hot Cheetos would signal to the viewer that they're almost evil in a way.
Oh, okay.
But by the end of the episode or movie, you would find out that they're actually good.
Ah, plot twist.
Yeah, because it would take the arc of the product itself. Like it's banned from schools, people are getting sick. We associate it with like these like bad things. And then but over time, it's been this beloved thing. We realize that it's like actually harmless and it's like pretty good and brings people joy. And I think that would be the arc of this character, this hypothetical character.
Oh, I love this. Maybe, hey, here's another idea to put out into the
Uh,
universe. Maybe this is a sequel to we call up Evil Longoria, of course, and this is the sequel to Flamin' Hot. And
yeah,
the tagline is the slogan that you just came up with, and that's
let your
written,
mouth wander.
on the promotional posters. This
This
could
is
be,
everything you're saying is like it's worth writing down. And there is there is a world where this fully gets made.
yeah. Well, listen, this is all recorded. We will put it out into the universe. You own the rights to that. Great. Just maybe bring me on as like a producer, and
Of course.
then virtual handshake, and we're good to go. That's it.
Yes.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for sharing your love of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and helping me to tell its story.
Thank you so much for having me. This was be like so educational and informative, and also so fun. This was a pleasure.
Thanks for watching. You can find links and more info in the description below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. See you next time.